to the last order passed because
I'm coming to that only, on your affidavit only.
Basically, your lordship,
Why-
the issue of TET, lordship had raised this lot, that whether TET is applicable in this kind
So
of.
I've tried to explain it.
Our humble submission is that.
Just 1 minute, let me. I have to explain.
Yes,
Everybody else is
I am appearing for some of them, Lord, the private, Lord.
interveners.
Yes, it is.
Wait,
Please,
first,
please.
intervener can only assist one or the other party. Intervener cannot have the first right of audience.
No, lordship, that's, please.
Either state says,
Yes.
responded to by the petitioners, then you have to choose the party to support.
Please.
Your intervention is not allowed to expand.
And
One of the last order.
7th March order needs to be complied with, Milord.
No,
That's
just
what
one
we are saying.
I have been asked to.
What is your
Yes, I've been asked to explain as to why we took that stand.
Just
May I read from Rajneesh Pandey's judgment itself? That is our understanding. I've set it out in my affidavit.
the judgment?
That is the judgment. That is what your lordships are trying to now work it out by this method. I've given my affidavit. The citation is 2021-17 SCC, page 1. And I'll take your lordship straight to the relevant paragraphs.
Give them some time to find. You have a
I have a note sheet also. I've given an affidavit also. I filed an affidavit yesterday.
judgment.
To judgment, no, man. Court is asking me a question.
Page 1, page 1.
Page one.
this is 20th October 21.
Page 1 at page 51.
28.
And in this context, may I read the last order? It will make it easier for me to explain as to why we understand this or judgment to be what it is. Last judgment. ऊपर वाला है क्या? So the last order, my lords, 1811. May I read page 11 of that order? I'll read that. In terms of our earlier order, we are considering the progress made by the state of Uttar Pradesh today. Our attention has been invited to 2 affidavits dated 7 September, 16 November 25, filed on behalf of the state of UP. Very interestingly, the word uses soup. So I hope I'm not in soup. Then, my lord, we find from one such affidavit that the teacher eligibility test has been prescribed by the SUP as a requisite qualification for teachers to be appointed to cater to the needs of children with special needs. Then your lordship goes on to say number of orders that we passed. Then we say, your lordship note Ms. Bobde's submission also. Mr. Rana, learning senior counsel appearing for the SUP may also apprise us of the relevant law based on whereupon the requirement of candidates being TET qualified was specified in the notification dated 6 September 25, which forms part of the affidavit dated 7 September 25. We propose to hear the news so and so, and then your lordship say, Mr. Mukherjee shall also obtain instructions of why a cut-off date of filing of the writ petition of Rajesh Kumar Pandey has been fixed. So I have clarified both that in the affidavit. May I read from the judgment first, then I'll come to my affidavit. Page 51, para 62 first, 61 first.
Para 61.
Page 51. In any case,
Yes.
unless such notification is issued by the central government or appropriate government, as the case may be, all concerned are under bounden duty to give effect to the norm regarding pupil-teacher ratio, so and so. So we'll skip over 62. Chapter 2 of the SSS gives the background in which the scheme has been formulated to cover all children from age of 4 to 18 years and has a scope across all levels of school education from preschool to senior secondary or on universal basis to ensure the education of all children. Then inclusion of children with special needs is spelled out. The heading is chapter 4. Lodge will now come to page, the relevant portion, my lords, at page 4.11. Within that paragraph, page 57. The heading is monitoring and evaluation. Ongoing monitoring evaluation should be carried out from time to time. For this, appropriate monitoring mechanisms and tools are to be devised at every level and field tested at regular intervals. Now, guidelines for appointment of special educator. This is what is important, my lord. So, minimum education qualification of becoming an educator for classes preschool 4 to 5, preschool to primary stage, classes 1 to 4, senior secondary or its equivalent, with at least 50% marks and a 2-year diploma in education, special education. Then pass in the teacher eligibility test to be conducted by the appropriate government in accordance with the guidelines framed by the NCTE for the purpose. Then minimum qualification of becoming an educator for classes 6 to 8 elementary stage, graduation, then the clause B, pass in teacher eligibility test to be conducted by the appropriate government in accordance with the guidelines framed by the NCTE for the purpose. Then minimum qualification is also required for becoming an educator for class 9 to 12. All special educators must be registered with the Rehabilitation Council of India. So TET is, in our understanding, a mandatory condition. You have to be a teacher first, then you get this additional qualification. Now, Lordship will kindly see para 63, next page. Special educators, the Lordships have told the Ministry of Human Resource Development. No, sir, I'll read that. So your Lordships have said what special educators are required to do. Then your Lordships can skip over and come to para page 62. This is very important, Malas. Page 62, Roman 7, between placetum E and G. Page 62, Malas. The conditions of service and the recruitment rules for special education teachers should also clearly prescribe that they will be required to teach not only children with disabilities, but also children without disability in mainstream schools, so that full utilization of the services is ensured. I'll stop here. Then, my lords, the next page, para 67. Lordship has seen that. So they have, because I'll tell you, Lordship, I'll just pause here for a minute. There were special schools, but the reason is now they want to integrate such students also in the mainstream schools. So you have to be a teacher first with requisite qualification. In Anjuman also, your Lordship said TET is a mandatory qualification. In that context, this paragraph should have been read earlier, which I should have done earlier, Manoj. So Lordship will kindly come to page 63, para 67. As a stopgap arrangement, until the competent authority formulates a comprehensive action plan, including to specify the norms and standards regarding pupil-teacher ratio, to be maintained by the schools concerned imparting education to CWSN, we are persuaded to adopt the pupil-teacher ratio ascertained in this decision as 8:1 for children. It goes on like that, man. And then the last 3 lines. Indeed, the teachers to be so appointed need to be duly qualified. Let me stop here for a minute. Then recognized and registered with the council in light of section 13. So you have to be a teacher first, then you get this additional qualification under the RCI. In this context, my lords, we had specified, and then we're relying on a central government note order dated 2011, which are annexed to our affidavit, which says that you have to have this qualification of TET. My lordship may have my affidavit. NCT, sir.
November. कोर्ट के
And this,
जजमेंट पूरी कोर्ट की
वो relevant paragraph which we read.
page 5, Manoj. I read out para 63, etc. Then I've also relied on Anjuman at page para 7. Then Manoj, para 8 at page 7. It is in the above context that the state of Uttar Pradesh most especially understood the order passed by this Honorable Court dated 7/3/25, which inter alia observed as follows. Your Lordship made a specific remark on this paragraph. The screening committee shall examine the case of each of the candidates who have been working on contract daily wage basis to teach these children, and those teachers who have been found to be competent, eligible, and qualified to teach shall be given the pay scale of special teacher. The past experience of this teacher shall also be kept in mind. However, the mandatory requirement to each of the candidates would be RCI. So this is the addition. The mandatory would be RCI, but you have to be a TET according to our understanding, well. And then that cutoff date, Lordship can take para 11. I'm willing to abide by any other cutoff date.
Guidelines referred to in page 57 of the judgment.
Page 57.
Minimum qualifications for becoming an educator.
Just one. Yes, madam. Guidelines which I read.
Right?
Yes.
This is minimum. That means mandatory.
TET is mandatory.
Mandatory.
Yes, yes. That is my understanding.
No difficult. No, I wanted to
court on 7th March 25.
But this,
Read this paragraph which has been quoted.
yes, Manoj.
Think that only RCI is the mandatory.
It's not.
Because para 16 says the other way, in the same judgment.
Para 60
1/6 of the same judgment.
Once is
That
submission.
creates the
of this Khanvilkar's judgment.
Yes, yes, yes.
16. Let us-
1/6.
1/6.
So, the Lordship may see para 16 at page 28.
Yeah.
Two aspects emerge from this provision. The first is that a rehabilitation professional who possesses prescribed qualifications and is so recognized by and enrolled on the register of the council alone can practice as rehabilitator anywhere in India, including as a special teacher. That is to say that no other person not possessing such recognition and not being registered with the council can engage himself in serving the handicapped persons, CWSN in particular, or impart education to them. For that would be a contravention and punishable under section 13(3) reproduced above. Indeed, this enactment in a way is a general law, but will still govern the special teachers engaged by any school/institution for imparting education and training to CWSN. They must fulfill this requirement over and above the qualifications prescribed under special law concerning registration and recognition of schools and maintaining minimum standards for imparting quality education.
Over and above the qualifications prescribed.
Yes.
That
Now,
means that these are the qualifications of special educators
Yes.
must have.
now, the only problem is that if Lordship may see this, I got lay hands to this memorandum of understanding between the NCT and RCI. In fact, as a amicus, I would be more welcoming that TET should be there. I'm not disputing my friend's stand, but just to bring one clarity which is not reflected in the affidavit, there's a
Anyone have this SSS,
Samagra Shiksha
Samagra Shiksha, integrated scheme for school education?
that is still.
Does anyone have it?
I do not know that I.
But if Lordship may just see one clarification would be.
Guideline is part of this SSS.
Yes, yes.
Right. We would like to see whether it has any statutory force or not. Or it's a mere guideline.
Now, if Lordship may see this memorandum of understanding between the NCT and RCI,
Para 61 lays down that SSS.
just a minute.
SSS.
Yes.
We would like to see that SSS.
It says
No, Lord,
Samagra Shiksha, integrated school, scheme for school education, for short SSS.
SSS,
Yes.
that is by the government of India.
Yes. Central government. This is until such notification. Now the question is whether that only the central government.
I have no
don't
difficulty
find
about TET to be conducted. Now, just see internal page 2, preamble, second para. RCI has been, if Lordship got that, internal page 2, second para of preamble. The RCI has been charged with the responsibility of standardizing the syllabi, regulating and monitoring the training of special teachers stroke educators who teach children out of disabilities. In fact, it is mandatory for those professionals and personnel to be registered with RCI. On the other hand, it is responsibility of the NCTE to regulate and monitor the training of teachers to be appointed in schools and teacher educators to be appointed in teacher education institutions and to determine the minimum qualifications of teacher under the RT. Meaning that what they want to convey through this MOU is that for special teachers, the nodal authority has to be RCI, my lords, and for general teacher it is NCT. So today my submission as an amicus is, my lord, yes, TET has to be there, my lords, but the authority to regulate syllabus and monitoring has to be by RCI through this memorandum of understanding, my lords. It's a 2015 MOU, my lords.
Erroneously construed. As a teacher, you are required to possess the
No, but there are different syllabus for the special educators.
special education.
RCI.
Apart from the need to
Have a RCI, I think. And to juxtapose with para 16, my lords, TET, yes. No, lordship, just to further this, if lordship may see the order of 21st July in my compilation.
7th March order
No,
has left out something perhaps.
perhaps, but your lordship, we read it in a manner that it would satisfy
Yes.
the TET.
No, lordship, just to
condition.
further
That's
that,
one
if lordship may say 21st July order in my compilation, page number 5, that list of dates which I've handed over, my lords, time again. No, this is 2022. This is 2022. 21 के बाद है.
23.
If lordship may just to furtherance of this TET thing, my lords. It is internal running page 5 of this. This, kindly come to page 5. That's 21st July order, my lords. Kindly come to page 7 of this. Page 7. Our attention has been invited. The para starting from there. May I read, my lords? Our attention has been invited to the communication issued by Under Secretary to Government of India, Ministry of Education, Department of School Education, so and so, dated 10th June 2022, informing all the state governments and UTs about the acceptance of the recommendation by the RCI by the department and urging the concerned states to give effect to the state decision in right earnest and adhere to the direction given by this court in judgment of 28/10/2021. The Lordship may have a look on this notification and kindly come to para 8, or page 8, para 2. And if your Lordship may see, in the third column, it is qualification that it has to be RCI approved. And fourth, the recruitment process has to be through TET and CTET. So that is there, my lords. Just to further my friend's submission that yes, I also agree TET has to be there. Only thing which they say in the affidavit today is that it is the authority of NCT TET,
But are the other states are also
except for Delhi. My instruction is except for Delhi,
then UP?
no UP also. Because Delhi Lordship may recall that they have that entrance examination, CTET, what they call. So Lordship can clarify because there are two. What I need is the affidavit says NCT is the authority. The judgment of Supreme Court says RCI is the authority to conduct TET, and because they have a special syllabi.
RCI cannot do.
Go by these guidelines,
Yes.
ask the TET to be conducted by the appropriate government
Yes.
in accordance with the guidelines framed by the
Yes.
NCT.
But then
for
para
the
60.
RCI.
No, Lordship may see that syllabi has to be provided by RCI.
Mr. Amicus, you will have to show us whether this guideline still survives or
But
not.
that's Union of India.
Considered
That's
by-
why Lordship had issued notice of Union of India on the last date of hearing because they were to clarify on this thing.
This guideline survives,
Yes.
then it has to be appropriate government.
Absolutely.
Well, the government would be.
Either the central government or the respective state government in consultation with is NCT a party?
No.
RCI is the special body because they have a different syllabi for the special educators, my lord. It can't be equal with general educators, my lords.
Because TET has to be conducted in the subject of the special educators.
Specialized area.
This specialized area is regulated by RCI.
Nobody is disputing TET to be.
There's a special TET also.
Then NCT has to be put on notice. NCT must tell us what would be the curricula that a student.
RCI has to be put to notice also. RCI has to be put to notice because it's a special circular, special syllabi for the special educators. It's just like B.Ed special education and B.Ed general education, my lords. B.Ed special education, different course, my lords.
One more clarification, my lords. Your Lordship wanted from me, so I
So
should point out. Your Lordship wanted why this cutoff date was mentioned. I have said that we thought it was at the date of filing of the writ petition. The Lordship said date of judgment, we'll follow that. But our understanding was that the filing of the writ petition of Rajesh Pandey was 2016. Therefore, we put this date
My lord, RCI
with no malified intention.
My learned friend represents
TET
RCI.
is decided by the state government. We do not play a role in.
You are for RCI.
Yes, my lords. My lords, but TET is in the. It is in the exclusive domain of the state. The state government decides. Each state government. We do not.
Would be the what would be the
Appropriate government.
content of the curricula leading to qualification in the TET? Who would decide that? That has to be by NCT.
Yes.
My lords, that is.
Maybe in consultation with you.
My lords, that is how it happens.
That is how it happens.
NCTE is.
Can you show us something that is
That's the MOU which I read, my lords. Page
May I?
that you have read? This is the MOU.
RCI has been charged with the responsibility of standardizing this syllabi, regulating and monitoring the training of special teachers. And that's the understanding between the NCT and RCI. NCT is the center authority, RCI is the special teacher authority.
Okay, tell us, so far as the other states who have already issued notifications, what is the qualification they have indicated?
RCI
R-
RCI qualified. Yes.
RCI only.
And then screening committee, my lords. Contractual screening committee and for RCI. In fact,
No, state of West Bengal requires as a mandatory qualification graduation in the teaching and TET.
Not-
Because, brother, I tell you,
not
Lordship,
so.
TET standardizes and nationally a procedure and quality education.
Lord, I have something to say on the state of West Bengal.
It's quality education for children with disability.
Lord, your lordship may hear me on the state of West
And
Bengal.
it is uniformly across the country. That's what TET does.
I've annexed
Lord, my submission there is on.
Just 1 minute, sir.
Have no enormous situation. TET, yes. Syllabus to be standardized by RCI in consonance with NCT, my lords. Number 2, cutoff date, if my friend also conceded, has to be maximum 7th March 2025 because that was the date when the order was passed. That contractual to be screened, not the date of filing the rate petition, my lords. These 3 things can be clarified today, my lords.
Only to add for UP is saying,
Not allow the
In fact-
recruitment process to continue.
no, but
Subject to
UP
TET.
Just 1 minute. Not
Back.
Subject to TET examination,
But
yes.
in
Set
UP,
back. We have already invited.
No, those states
Yes.
who have notified that TET is a required qualification.
yes, UP is saying so.
Existing
Those states
employees.
who have not.
UP is saying so. What UP says is
Now, Mr. Patwalia, UP, Delhi and Bengal.
correct.
Lord,
They are saying that TET is a
So
required
UP circle.
Just 1 minute. Sir, we have
Lord-
issued notification.
Lordship may pass the order
Students have
today
been invited.
about the TET has to be
It is
mandatory.
Scrutinizing those applications. The whole process will be set back.
yeah.
And they-
Lord, West Bengal.
So far as these 4 states are concerned, Bengal, UP,
Delhi.
Bihar.
Lord, in West Bengal, would you please hear me on West Bengal?
We are not passing any order right now. We are just expressing our mind. If at all it is a necessary requisite for a candidate to be appointed as a special educator. Now, if notifications have already been issued,
Yeah.
setting the process in motion, and some of the states don't mention that it is a necessary qualification, what happens to those processes?
Lord, my
After the process is taken to the conclusion, we find
Lord, there are
none
two.
of the candidates.
Lord, my sug-
Again,
no, not so, Lord. I would give a solution to that.
I have-
Lord, in the cases, there is a grandfathering for people who have been 20 years and 15 years working. Lord, they are not recruited any longer. And the numbers are very small. For West Bengal, my Lord, highest number of disabled children in India, 3 lakhs and more. According to the teacher ratio, my Lord, about 30,000 are required minimum. Lord, 3,000 are the existing, 2,400 are the existing ones. Surely they can be grandfathered in. Out of this, Lord, that is my submission because my learned friend, the amicus, read out that earlier portion of the order, which makes a distinction between qualification and recruitment process. My submission would be
The other jurisdiction, we have said that teachers who are now in position who don't have TET, they will have to obtain TET qualification.
2 years.
So, my lord,
So, my lord,
Therefore,
so far
there
as
can be no escape that teachers have to obtain.
Lord,
Yes.
there are
So they should
there
be-
are
they should-
kinds of TT.
may I suggest they should be subjected to examination, my lord.
For the
Those
state of UP,
Not in Bengal, there are hardly any who don't have TET. Like 5 or 10 out of 2,000.
Lord, on the contrary, my
For
Lord,
the
my
state-
statistic shows a minimum
For-
number.
for-
may I suggest, my lord,
Just something, one thing, Lord.
all those who have been appointed or under process.
Annex. My affidavit. As the NCT notification
Lord,
annex
in-
at page 14, which mandates TET.
My lord, in West Bengal, only 1100 are working. My lord, the numbers are
1450.
insignificantly small.
Same
Everyone should be.
Is considering UP. So if I can just add for UP, says first we will only take those who have TET. There are about 450 odd such people. Then we have about 1400 and odd people who have worked for 20 years without TET. There they say you will have to clear TET within 2 years to be conducted by the state government. So we are okay with that notification. We have no problem.
I have another.
So
Mr. Amicus, do you have any advertisement issued by any state which does not specify TET as a requisite qualification?
There are some states, we don't specify TET in particular.
Don't record the
I'll bring it. Next state will bring the state.
We have,
I have a suggestion for that also, my lord.
Well, just, Madam appeared for NCT when we were hearing the other matter. Can you find out?
In Anjuman, I'll find out.
In Anjuman,
Anjuman.
NCT was
I'll
represented
Yes,
by a senior counsel.
I'll find out.
You can request her or we will issue notice to NCT.
So I guess I'm out of the soup today, Malas.
Yes.
It's a very interesting term.
My lord, to clarify,
Let's, may
my lord,
I
to
make my
paraphrase what
submission
fell
for
from the
Tamil
bench
Nadu
in West
viewers?
Uttar Pradesh, my lord is saying 7th of March will be the cutoff, not an earlier date.
No, we are not saying anything now.
As you.
First, we must set the house in order.
Yes.
Those states who have issued notifications without requiring TET will have to issue a corrigendum. Those who have applied, if they have submitted any fee, they don't have any TET qualification, their fees have to be refunded.
And they have to be subjected to TET examination.
Or they go out.
There has
Lord,
some
Uttar-
time frame. There has to be some.
State of UP, what they are doing with.
My lord, your lordship would hear.
Only thing is that they
Lord, your lordship would hear me for a few moments on that before your lordship, because
The
I have
state of
something to
UP,
say on West
they are-
Bengal.
We'll find out the states who have issued applications.
in UP is continuing, my lord. That should continue.
State of Uttar Pradesh has invited our attention to judgments of this court. Commissioner Pandey, Union of India, 2021-17, SEC page 1, and has got to interest from us that teacher eligibility tests to be conducted by the appropriate party in accordance with the guidelines framed by the National Council for Teacher Education for the purpose has been specified as a minimum educational as inter alia been specified as the minimum educational qualification for becoming an educator, special educator for classes 6-5, bracket preschool to primary school. We were under the impression that in terms of the order dated 7th March 2025, any candidate, any person aspiring to be appointed as a special educator was mandatorily required to obtain the RCI qualification. However, Mr. Malhotra, Learned Amicus, has also drawn our attention to the earlier order of this court.
21st July
2022, where reference is made to the circular dated 10 June 2022 issued by the Government of India, Ministry of Education, Department of School Education and Literacy, which also refers to TET or the TET or the NTA, 4 plus demonstration class which run from page 8 as part of the recruitment process. It is not in dispute that, depending on the basis that RCI is the mandatory qualification, some of the states have issued notifications commencing selection process without, however, mentioning that it is a requisite qualification. We need to ascertain from NCT position as regards the curricula to be pursued by aspiring students, by aspiring persons a person who studied become special educators in order to clear TET. ECT is treated as full respondent, which is like this, turnable on next Tuesday. Malhotra shall place before us set of notification issued by various states which do not require as a qualification.
If any, Lordship. If any. I'll check up in case.
We will have to now.
I'll check all the evidence.
The advocates on record for the states.
Okay.
Call for a copy of the notification. You compile it and give it to us.
I'll do that, Lord.
Lord, my
Lord,
request
Your
is,
Lordships hear me for Tamil Nadu, Lords.
Lord,
Process is on the verge of completion.
Just one second.
We make
Just
it clear
wait
that
till you
no
I'm going to mention.
candidate
Lord, for
no candidate shall be selected and appointed unless he possesses the TET qualification.
Lord, in UP, Lord, some of the candidates have TET. That recruitment can proceed.
So
But it
450.
Those who
Do not have, that's all.
will not be appointed.
Yes.
That's
That
Lord,
takes care
Your
of
Lordship put it in the positive.
And that 2-year period which they have given to the
Lord, on West Bengal, I need to make some submissions on the TT. Would Your Lordship hear me on the other?
Telangana may be taken.
Lords, for
We were
Tamil
trying to
Nadu
find
also,
out whether
Lords.
we can start at 3 o'clock on the next day or not. Instead of 3:30.
I'm grateful.
If there is an open slot, we can keep it at
actually
3
for
o'clock.
those people. Can you excuse me 1 minute? So for those, your lordships have said. Your lordships have said those who don't have TET will not be.
appointed.
But these people have continued for 20 years up to now. And
That's an interim order, Mr. Patwalia.
all right, so
Let NCT come before us and tell us what.
will not be given a regular appointment, your lordship may say. Less they.
Lord,
We cannot go against the.
No, that's all
No,
right. They
I-
have been given 2 years. They have been given 2 years time to complete it, not under the
Lords, as
notification.
far as Tamil
that
Nadu is concerned,
you know, there is a stopgap. They have been
Lordships will keep it next week.
All right,
Lords.
next week we'll assist them.
Lord,
Not affidavit.
Lord,
One
not,
submission with respect to Delhi, Your Lordships. By order dated 28th of October, the government was directed to declare result of 500 against 500 vacancies. It's been around 1 month that has not been done. So
Who appears for Delhi?
My lords, I am appearing for Delhi guest teachers.
You are appearing for
For
Delhi.
guest teachers of Delhi.
Government.
Ms. Bobde appears.
Aishwarya ma'am, she's leading, she's
So why is the result not published? If you have made an order for publication of result, there must.
my lords, the 500 names have already been forwarded to what my instructions are. The 500 names have already been forwarded to Lord.
Madam Council, that despite the earlier order dated so, Delhi government has not published the list of.
My lords, the list will be published in a week. That is our instructions.
As far as
Assures the court that the list will be published within 7 days. We require the list to be placed before this court on next Tuesday.
My lord, in
state of Tamil Nadu is
we'll
concerned,
be
Lords, the
filing a
Lordships
short
will have it
affidavit
next week.
West
Lords.
Bengal.
West Bengal. In Krishna.
My lords, may please, after 2 weeks for Delhi, the,
Just now said 7 days.
my lords, he's here. Sir is here, my lordships.
2 weeks. The last part could be deleted.
And as far
Well,
as
item 22 is that matter with Mr. Naidu's on the other side. The advocate on record is here. We were requesting together, Malaj, whatever fixed time, any date this month, next month, whatever.
You can't say at 4:10. Between 10:30 and 4 on any day.
Lord, would Your Lordship also say cut off to be considered next?
Item 38 next week.